Hello and welcome to Odds Checkers coverage of Monday Night Football. What's going on? I am Matt O'Leary, joined by Elisha Twerski. Elisha, what's going on?
Not much. We filmed on Thursday, and we had a lot of pro Jets props, and those backfired. So I guess the moral of the story is don't bet on the Jets.
Yes. Wise words from our editor over here at Odds Checkers. I agree with you. We are good thing we're avoiding them this week, and we will get into instead the Steelers and the Bears, which is the matchup for Monday night. So let's pull that up. We're going to look at the spread first. Pittsburgh is favored by 7. Anything jumping out to you here?
I have a hard time getting to that 7 for Pittsburgh. They really haven't been that good this year. Ben Roethlisberger looks like, I'd say, a shell of himself, but that's kind of an insult to shells. He really just it's kind of sad, and then they just don't have a good history of covering in games like that. Since 2020, they're 6-9 against the spread as favorites. They're 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 games as favorites by touchdown or more. I just feel like Chicago Fields is starting to come into his own again. Matt Nagy's back, which is a big concern for me.
Yes.
I prefer if he was still out, but I'll take Pittsburgh plus Chicago plus 7. I'm not comfortable enough to take them on the money line, but on the plus 7, I'll take him.
Okay. Once again, I'm going to say something I probably shouldn't say on this. I hate this spread. I don't want to pick it, but if I were to pick it, I think I'm leaning Pittsburgh minus 7. I know the Steelers are just 3-4 against the spread, but this year when the Bears are underdogs by 6 points or more, 0-4. So many times this year, they've gotten a big number, and I was thinking, okay, maybe we'll get either a backdoor cover, like Tampa Bay, for instance. They were 13-point underdogs in that game. They got their doors blown off. And against this defense, I don't know if I trust Justin Fields enough yet. Who knows? Maybe he comes out and proves me wrong and comes and has a pretty good day. And I don't love the Steelers' offense, but I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, and I just don't trust Chicago's offense yet. And as you said, they're getting Matt Nagy back, which might end up handicapping them a little bit.
Well,
so
yeah.
I'm reluctantly taking the Steelers minus 7 here, but I don't love it.
Right. And I mean, speaking of low-scoring games, I've got the under. If we're talking about the total, 39.5. I know that's a low number, but Chicago's gone over in just 8 of their last 20 games as dogs. During that same stretch, Pittsburgh has gone over in just 5 of 15 as favorites. Chicago, this number, this 39.5, they've been under it in 5 of their 8 games this year. So I'm liking the under, even though it is a really low number.
Yeah, me too. At 39.5, that almost seems like insanely low. But when you look at, if you just want to go this year, these two teams combined are 11-3-1 to the under. So, I mean, I just don't know how you could possibly go over here, even with like Vegas is trying to entice you at 39.5, and I'm not falling for it, Elisha, and I'm glad you're not either.
Yeah, I mean, this really has the feeling of another one of those 13-10 Monday Night Football games that we've gotten recently with these primetime games. This has the feeling of another one of those.
Absolutely. So let's get on over to some player props. What's sticking out to you in that regard?
If you go to receiving yards and you scroll all the way to the bottom, so that might take you some time, you'll see Pat Freiermuth. Did I pronounce that right? I'm not even sure. He'll have under 30.5 yards at plus 100. I like it. Chicago's allowed the fewest yards to tight ends this year. It's not particularly close, actually. Freiermuth, however you pronounce his name, has been under this number in 4 of 7 games this year. And Chicago is a funnel. They funnel to wideouts. They've allowed top 5 yards per game to wide receivers. So they really funnel it to the outside. So I could see this. I could see him getting, 20, 15 yards. I know Eric Ebron's out. I know Juju Smith-Schuster's out. I just see this as a big Deontay Johnson game. James Washington on the outside. Perhaps he can get some. Chase Claypool obviously should get a lot of work in this one. So I think this one hits the under.
Okay. You convinced me on that one, especially at the plus money. I am going to rushing yards in this one, and I guess it's kind of a similar boat for what you were describing here. I'm going to go with Najee Harris over 79.5. Chicago's allowed the 9th most rushing yards this year, and I think Pittsburgh's just going to be playing from a game where they're up. And I mean, we kind of talked about it at the start of this show. Ben Roethlisberger is not Ben Roethlisberger of old. So I think in order to protect him from being exposed, so to speak, they're better off using their running back that they just spent a first round pick on. So I expect him to get a ton of touches today. And with that, I think will come the yards. And I think he clears the 79.5 number.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I mean, like you said, he's not the Ben Roethlisberger of old, but he is old. So they're going to have to lean on Najee Harris. That was a good dad joke right there. But they're going to have to lean on Najee Harris. And I could see him getting to triple digits in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to do it for our coverage of Monday Night Football between the Steelers and the Bears. Both of us kind of expecting a low-scoring game and not a ton of offense. So make sure to tune in again next time as we're breaking down these games for Monday Night Football and Thursday Night Football. That'll do it for us. We'll talk to you next time.